Lots more to talk about. Then PNGRB, remember, has reviewed the high-pressure grid tariff. We've got Mr. Gajendra Singh, member of the PNGRB, now joining us to discuss that more. Thank you, Mr. Singh, for taking time out. I'll begin by just asking what the reason was behind that sharp cut in GSPL tariff and why is GSPL filled assumptions not being considered?
Look, this tariff is a combination of various factors. As everybody knows, whether the volume, how much is the volume flow, then what will be the pipeline capacity, overall pipeline capacity, and then what are the earnings they made in previous years. If you see last time, this tariff was worked out on 2018, what we declared. That time, capacity GSPL submitted that the volume flow will be 3 MMSCMD. But we consider 26 million, and the tariff was worked out, and the levelized tariff was 34. Later on, what we have seen, volume has raised. The company did excellent. They could reach to a 30 million. Okay, so in a previous year, when the tariff was based on the 26 volume, considering 6 MMCMD, they could reach up to 30, 31 in previous years. So their earning was better in previous years. Okay. So now that time, when this revision took place, they have given submission that their volume is going to be now 26, considering that volume as 30 million, because currently what we are seeing in previous years, the volume is running 30 million. We don't have any reason that not to believe on them. That's what, whenever we work out the tariff, we normally worked out the tariff for 10 years, and then in 5 years there's a revision. But here we have kept a special provision only for this GSPL HP. If suppose the volume goes decline the way they are projecting, then perhaps after 1 year we will review those tariffs. Yeah. And the main reason for declining was in a previous year, number one, they have the better earnings. If you can see their balance sheet also, because it is a regulated business, and this GSPL is doing only the transmission business. It's not like other businesses are there. So their earning is basically definitely better in previous years. So that has true up when we tariff. That was one reason. Secondly, the capacity, when they install the pipeline network, there was a capacity considered 3 million. But in between, many new sources have connected to that pipeline. Whether it is a Mudra, whether it is a Dahej, and then now Charak terminal is also going to get connected. So taking into that all those accounts, what we did PNGRB, we have given this job to the expert agency, that is Engineers India Limited, to carry out the capacity assessment for all the companies. So they did this capacity assessment because the number of entry and exit point has increased. So that capacity was worked out at 36 million. So that was also another factor. So if you see that overall, what they are getting, I mean, if there is some surprises, if volume gets declined, what they're saying, then we will review in 1 year. That's it.
Mr. Singh, volumes is one part of it, which you said that, you're going to be reviewing the tariffs in the next financial year based on the volume performance. But given the sharp cut in tariffs, earnings impact is also expected to be higher, right? So will you at PNGRB consider even that while reviewing the tariffs, or will only volume be under consideration to revise the tariffs henceforth?
What the volume, but when we will revise, then we will see other factors also. Because earlier the practice was pipeline entity, they used to keep a capex for number of pipelines to connect to the consumers, and we used to consider all those capex while working out the tariff. But now, as you know, that all across country, all geographical areas now have been authorized to CGD entities. After authorizing those, now it is, if the volume is below 50%, the investment is to be made by the CGD entity, not the pipeline entity. Okay. So whatever the links they have created, GSPL, from the high pressure network, 65 around, I think if you recall well, 65 spur links they have, tie-in and spur links they have worked out. We have considered all those things. Earlier we were taking it as a provisional, but now we did it a final. So we have taken capex. But in future capex, if any capex, they says that okay, this capacity is to be enhanced, they put further capex. Yes, we are going to. If after 1 year there will be revision, that factor comes, we will also take that will also be taken care.
Since these are listed entities, there are public shareholders also. But the message for the public shareholders would be that PNGRB is interfering. They're interfering at a time when they're trying to curb profits. How would you dismiss that?
No. Number one, we are not interfering in anybody's business. It is a public consultation process, because whenever we do this thing, we call a public consultation process, because there are a number of factors what they have submitted, because they have submitted around 50 is going to be the tariff. Any entity whosoever submitted, they have their methodology. They say, okay, this work, they say the volume is going to be 23. But is there a reason to, 26. Is there any reason to believe that it is going to be? We are not saying we are not believing them. But if that happens, yes, we will take care. If any other factors which were during public consultations and other things have taken care, if those things has to be done, so we normally take care of those things. And it is done transparently. It is not something that this is a listed company. It is hard if something goes down that way. But this is the reality.
So, is there any proposal to revisit the gas tariff plans or of the tariff structure for Gail also?
Yeah, why not? We worked out their capacity. They have submitted their capacity. We did that capacity. I think that has also been updated. They have given some capacity, but we found capacity has increased. So that has also been put up on the website. So that also you can look into that. That is there, and now the PCD, public consultation process, will be started for Gail, and subsequently we'll work out on those things.
Number that has been suggested by Gail, and what is it that your assumption has been? Could you spell it out for us?
Right now, Gail has not suggested. We have, what I'm saying, we have through expert agency, we have assessed the capacity. Is going to be the capacity. Now, this capacity has been given to the Gail also. Now, look, through expert agency, this is the capacity. Now, based on this, now we will ask Gail to submit their tariff number. Okay. And then the consultation process will be there, and then we will work out. So it will take normally it takes 2-3 months time. So it will be worked out on based on that.
I would imagine that ultimately the objective is that large part of the tariff revision should pass on to the customers or the end consumer. If companies do not pass it on, would you be taking strict action against that?
No, but right now, if you'll see that we have now implemented a unified tariff. The entities what they are earning, that is a separate part. Based on that, the tariff unified tariff is applicable to the consumers. Now, if you see that this instant case also, if you see the tariff is not going to change as far as unified tariff for John 1, John 2, those, I think those all are going to remain same. For customer, we have protected customer that way, that they are insulated this kind of things.
I understand that, sir. But if gas prices are revised, then that means customers should also benefit. I mean, that should be the spirit, right?
Yeah. That's what the unified tariff, the objective was, if any customer all across country, now it is a national gas grid. If they want to buy a gas from East Coast, West Coast, or some other places, wherever they feel some source are there, and they take a volume, they can take that volume to their places. And unified tariff is applicable all across country for all the customer.
I mean, yeah, please go ahead.
So what I'm think the customers are the tariff. One is that earning to the entities, pipeline entities. Another is what is the realization of the tariff. As far as customers are there, we have seen that once the unified tariff is implemented, in the lower level, the entities may be having a different earning, but that gets cools. Okay, the entity which is having a more earning, they will be pulling that unified tariff. So it is on based on a weighted average basis. So customers are going to be benefited with this.
Sir, that's one aspect of it. But don't you think that this would also discourage companies to not grow volumes?
But ma'am, if you see they are having a better earning in the previous year. If you see I don't want to say the numbers, you can see their numbers. Normally in regulated tariff, we say that reasonable tariff is around, if they get at around 12%. But if the entities gets more, I mean, that is, we have to see that if it is getting more and what the factors, what we are considering and what are the regulation in place, that we have to come into picture that should not be that any entity is making some kind of what we call that earning, which is big number.
Sir, also we understand that PNGRB is said to be working on bringing competition in the regasification space as well. Tell us, what is your thought process here?
Like what we see that whatever the prices are applicable to the consumer should be in transparency in such a way that and the capacity should be such in the regas terminal. So currently we are at the stage of asking the information from the entities. Okay. So once the entities will give those information, we don't want to control their what we call that gas tariff and other things. But what we want that whatever the regas charges are applicable across country, because there are the number of terminals. Each terminal is charging different. So finally, it's to the consumers. So there also we are seeing that how we can do, but it is at an initial stage. We are seeking information from all those entities. Once we get this thing, then we will pitch in and we will see how it will work out.
Okay. So what are the next steps going to bring about competition in the city gas distribution sector as well, where both marketing and infrastructure exclusivity has already expired?
The tax, wherever there's exclusivity is there is a separate thing. We are working on that because there are few entities where they have completed their 25 years. Because you know that PNG connections they have given to the different houses. So it's not that we can bring immediately some other agency and they are going to put a PNG connection to the different lakhs of houses. No, that may not be possible. So normally we give the extension to these entities subject to they meet the service level agreement. They are the conditions. They should meet all those conditions. So those are the few things which we will discuss whenever the exclusivity, the entities who have completed, we will tell them, we will have discussion and then we will take decision on that.
Because, sir, a lot of CGD, city gas distribution companies, we understand from the 9th and 10th round, have not fulfilled their commitments on the PNG connections. And so is PNGRB planning any action on them already?
That is also our worry. That is also our worry, and that's what we are seeing. But we have to see that basically the process at field also. What is there? Basically, when you are giving a PNG number or PNG connection to any house, you have to see that you have to replace the LPG, and our place is in such a way that the consumers feel that whatever it is given to him like LPG connection, they don't want to lose that because they have not experienced the PNG one because for the new consumers. So they have some kind of apprehension. If we will take PNG, we will lose our this LPG connection. So that's what this OMC have come out with a policy, you can keep these LPG cylinder in custody. So whatever the security deposit is there, that will be there in that this, and they can keep this cylinder. If some transferable job is there, there is a person who is having a transferable job, what they can do is they can surrender this thing, they can take a PNG, but if they are getting transferred to some place where the PNG is not there, they can get their LPG. So that is one. So in PNG, we are also worried that those numbers are not meeting, and perhaps they required some, what we call that, we have run that also, but what we are seeing that the acceptability from the consumer side also needs to be there. So we are working on that. If we can give any some sort of because we are seeing the government is also contemplating that if something can be given to this PNG connection, so that people attracts to those PNG connection. Yeah.
So let me summarize our today's interaction, sir. First, thank you very much. You've been very, very charitable with your time. The reason why PNGRB has come out with price revision is because the companies, because of the volume growth, had made returns which were more than 12%. Since this is a regulated entity, PNGRB is only coming and ensuring that whatever the fine print was, which is that if they are making returns of more than 12%, that really needs to be capped. So it is in this spirit, perhaps this decision has been done, and this was also done after public debate.
Yeah, very right. Correct.
Okay. PNGRB is open to revisit the tariff structure if the returns they go 12%?
It's basically what your point is right. I mean, what we are seeing that definitely the pipeline entity, they should not get suffer. So that's what we come out with a unified tariff and integrated one. First, we integrated, like for Gail also, there are the number of pipelines. Here, the volume, what we call capacity utilization was. There are the other pipelines where the capacity utilization was more. So we have integrated their network, so it has averaged out. Okay, so that was in the interest of the entity. So that where they are, maybe some places they are losing, other places they are making good earnings. So we have averaged out that, and that way, same way the HP network of GSPL also, we have integrated in such a way that there may be a number of places where the volume is not flowing per expectation. So that's what it was done.
Gajendra Singh, member PNGRB, really appreciate your time, sir. Thank you very much, and thank you for outlining everything in a very detailed manner.